Well, this next chapter is going to raise your blood pressure because we find out that the doctor is evil. And interestingly enough, this doctor, whose name is Dr. Yua Wellington. So at the very beginning of this next chapter, it wastes no time in this sort of little precursor thing. It just tells you that this guy's bad. And then after you find out that he's bad, we jump into the chapter, and the doctor enters the room, and he notices that our old buddy Paul is sitting there or laying there on a table, and he's getting like a back rub from a masseuse because of the challenging fight he had with his with the weapons trainer in the last chapter. I think it was Helic, if I recall. So yeah, this boy is pretty he's pretty pampered. Anyway, the doctor comes in, and he's just again, we're flipping back and forth from points of view, and he's sad because he thinks like, oh, Paul's such a great kid. What a waste it's going to be when he goes to Arrakis and we knock out his dad, Duke Leto, and then Paul, of course, is going to get knocked out too. Such a bummer, but I have to do it because he's the one who apparently the Harkonnens reached out to and set up to be the one betraying the Atreides family. So Paul finishes his back rub and sits up, and he's pretty happy to see the doctor because again, this whole sequence of the last two chapters is different other characters getting introduced while Paul's like literally in this same room of the castle. I don't know why I find that funny, but it's a different style. It's definitely amusing me. So they just start striking up a conversation to do some more world building, and Yua tells him about the Fremen, who are the native people of Arrakis, and how they're so tough, and watch out because they're you don't want to mess with them. And Paul's like, well, they sound pretty fierce. We should try to make an alliance with them. And Yua's like, oh, don't worry about it, because I think he knows Paul's not going to be making any alliances because he's going to be dead, right? And then Paul, being the ever inquisitive lad that he is, asks more questions, and he wants to know about these sandworms. And we find out these sandworms are, and if you've seen the movies or any trailers for that, these are huge, like building-sized worms that shoot up out of the ground and eat things, and also just move along the ground like, I don't know, like giant shark on the sand. So they're pretty cool. In the movie in particular, they're awesome, and I know they're very, very important, integral, in fact, to this whole series. I'm looking forward to when I get to more of that later in the book. Anyway, eventually this doctor gives Paul this weird little book that's kind of electronic. So you touch it in a particular way, and the page flips. But the pages are so tiny that if you touch them, it sounds like they just dissolve or they're ruined. So Paul's being really careful with this book. And he loves it. He thinks it's a good gift from this doctor. Then he starts reading a passage, and the doctor just completely flips out on him for no apparent reason. Because then you jump right into the doctor's head, and then he tells you that it's because it was the passage that his sounds like his deceased wife likes. Paul's like, whoa, didn't mean to defend you there, bro. Doctor's like, it's cool, it's chill, no worries. Again, he just knows Paul's going to die, so what's the point of holding a grudge? Anyway, at the end of the chapter, we find out that at last Paul's dad, Duke Leto, is approaching. He's going to come into the room, and now we're going to have him intro to us as well. So I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of hoping Duke Leto's the last one who's introduced to us in this way. I'm starting to get ready for some different scenery than Paul's room, where he talks philosophy, gets in a fight, gets a masseuse, chats with his doctor, who's now going to betray him. Now we're going to chat with his dad. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure it'll be cool. If you want to keep up with my overview of each of these chapters of Dune Book 1, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. And if you're interested in some fun sci-fi fantasy novels that I wrote, please check the description down below. And yeah, until next time, hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.